Firing Border Patrol agents became Biden's hobby for a while, and he also threatened to make them pay for simply doing their job despite the undeniable fact that he, Biden, isn't doing his job. He thinned out their ranks with his ridiculous vax mandate and any other excuse he or his leftist handlers could think up. But consider this irony. Biden said he planned to hire 87,000 IRS agents. Who would have gone on the offensive against the American people? But it didn't occur to him to hire tens of thousands more Border Patrol officers to protect the American people and our national sovereignty. About half as many Border Patrol agents could put one officer every 400 yards across the entire 2,000-mile southern border around the clock, let alone 87,000 of them. If this doesn't prove Biden and his minions are not working for America, what does? The left is following a plan to change the American demographic, so hiring more law enforcement agents is never going to be part of their lexicon. And firing Border Patrol agents leaves the border even more unprotected in wide swaths of the country. Biden chooses to do nothing to protect our health, our border integrity, our country, our safety, our economy, or the future of America. All this so Democrats can theoretically perpetually win elections when they pass a law that allows illegal aliens to become citizens or makes it legal for them to vote in our elections despite not being citizens. But because the administration awarded their lawless entry into America and seeks to let them enjoy an unearned and undeserved gift of U.S. citizenship and the higher standard of living created by centuries of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears by Americans, they believe they can count on all those millions of foreigners they imported to vote for Democrats forever. So, clearly Biden isn't going to stop the deluge of migrants from all over the world. It was part of their deliberate plan, i.e., it was their strategic design. Not a coincidence and not a blind blunder. What we're talking about here is the war radical leftists have declared on America, and they are intensely devoted to. How did Obama put it? Fundamentally transforming the United States of America. But, wait. Another termite in the woodpile includes George Soros again. Soros has said,
American supremacy is the greatest threat to the world today, and the main obstacle to a stable and just world order is the United States.
Perhaps American supremacy is a threat to him and the vision globalists want for the world. But Soros has for years advocated for open borders, and he is a big donor to the Democrat Party as of 2020. He has had Joe Biden to execute his plan and reach his goal. See the connection? That is another clue as to what's happening to us. There's more, so read on. During the 2020 campaign, the desperate, insanely power-obsessed Democrats tried to dupe and manipulate the American people by connecting Donald Trump and Russia, saying Trump was a puppet of Putin and a Russian asset. Their implication was that Russia wanted Trump to win the election, and their campaign strategy was that this connection would supposedly make Trump a poison pill to voters. However, while Trump was president, Putin never moved on Ukraine. So that pretty much makes the Democrat fish story more or less moot. It was only after a weak, foreign policy challenged, cognitively struggling, corrupt, senile, leftist puppet, Joe Biden, took office that Putin massed troops at Ukraine's border and was emboldened to start what could be a precursor to World War III. So, why would Putin have wanted to help Trump win the 2020 election if Trump was the secret sauce that kept Putin in check? Despite legal limits on campaign donations, the Democrats benefited from what Open Secrets Org says was in excess of $2 billion in dark money donations from political committees, at least partially funded by contributions from untraceable sources. $2 billion. Untraceable. After the Democrats took total control of the government in 2021, we experienced record inflation. The energy sector was gelded. Trillions more in new borrowing/spending threatens our economy and national security. Open borders brought millions more illegal aliens into America. Record-breaking crime has destroyed lives in blue states and cities. and the most incompetent and irresponsible administration in history is running the country. At the risk of cliché, the animals are now controlling the zoo. Follow the breadcrumbs. Figure out who benefits from such pricey donations to the University of Pennsylvania's Biden Center, or giving business deals, Porsches and diamonds to Hunter Biden. Who has that much money, and who is intensely interested in influencing America's leader? Frankly, it's not hard to figure out who Biden is working for. When voters finally get enough and figure out who and what the Democrat Party has become, perhaps we can rid the country of the party of lying, law-breaking, constitution-hating, nation-destroying people who seek to make us a secular socialist society, and get back to old-fashioned American values instead of ridiculous, radical left-wing values of the brainwashed high school interns working in D.C. To further understand the situation in which we are being slow-boiled like the proverbial frog, Biden has rambled repeatedly that the soaring price of gasoline was Putin's fault, Trump's fault, the global market's fault, and anybody else's fault but his. The days of Democrats like former President John F. Kennedy are gone. He was a leader who had the moral courage to accept responsibility for the failure of the Bay of Pigs incident by saying,
I am the responsible officer of government.
And morally bankrupt liars like Bill Clinton, who lied under oath about a relationship with a White House intern, became the hallmark of the party, which was continued by Barack Obama, who said he was born in Hawaii, but couldn't produce a birth certificate for 2 years, and the one he did post on the White House website was proven by document experts to be fraudulent, while he was president and had the chance to do so. Obama filled the government with communists. Who but a communist would do such a thing? His attempt to achieve the socialist dream of forcing socialized medicine, meant to lead to a socialist state, into America was ushered in by using the less noxious name of Affordable Care Act. Also a lie, sold to the American public when he postured that,
If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor.
Then entering from stage left is Joe Biden, a man who was Obama's partner and who staffed his administration with former Obama cronies. Biden wouldn't know truth if it bit him and has been a habitual liar for decades. He claimed the war in Ukraine raised gas prices, but Ukraine had nothing to do with it. Trump had gas prices below $2.00 a gallon, and under Biden that price doubled in less than 2 years. Joe Biden never accepts blame for anything that goes askew. Think it through. Biden campaigned on a promise that he would destroy fossil fuels. So add that up when he lies about inflation resulting from Putin's war in Ukraine. And another excuse used by his administration is that oil is traded on the world market, and thus Biden had no hand in the direction prices were going. The world market price of oil would not have an effect on prices of gasoline in America if we still had our own domestic production humming along like it did under Trump's watch, instead of buying oil from Iran and Venezuela as Biden had to do after promising his leftist base that while he was president, there would be no more drilling. Under Biden's leadership, truckers are shelling out up to $1,000 to fill up their tanks to haul goods to people across the nation. Ergo, the increasing price of gasoline was a wave that lifted all boats. By the way, Putin wasn't shooting at Ukraine during the 2020 campaign. Then, as president, Biden abandoned Afghanistan abruptly without even telling our allies of his intent, and China moved in immediately. Now China has access to Afghanistan's rare earth minerals, and they will become the Saudi Arabia of lithium.